Tonight's late-breaking developments, and yes, they are, Randy.
They certainly are. I mean, there was no question eventually an acquittal was going to happen here. The only question remaining, could there be new witnesses? Well, dramatic developments. Late tonight, Democrats needed to convince 4 Republican senators to vote in favor of hearing from witnesses like John Bolton to keep the case alive. Polls show most Americans wanted to hear from new witnesses, but Republicans faced intense pressure from Mr. Trump and Senate Leader Mitch McConnell to vote no. Well, minutes ago, Tennessee Republican Lamar Alexander revealed he would vote no. He's retiring this year, and Democrats hoped he would vote yes. But without him, it appears next to impossible Democrats will get 4 Republican votes. Alexander released a statement that seems to condemn the Ukraine scandal and maybe even the president, but says Mr. Trump should not be removed from office. I worked with other senators to make sure that we have the right to ask for more documents and witnesses, but there is no need for more evidence to prove something that has already been proven and that does not meet the United States Constitution's high bar for an impeachable offense. Also late tonight, Republican Senator Susan Collins from Maine said she will vote yes to hear from new witnesses. But again, unless 3 other Republicans join her, which appears highly unlikely, the Senate could vote as soon as tomorrow to clear the president. Well, tonight in Iowa, Mr. Trump held a campaign rally before all of this news broke, and it sure sounded like he was preparing to take an impeachment victory lap.
You know, we're having probably the best years that we've ever had in the history of our country. And I just got impeached. Can you believe these people? I got impeached. They impeached Trump. The best trade deals, the strongest military. I took care of the vets. We got choice. We got accountability for the vets. Accountability. We got all these things. And they impeach you, President. No, that's not going to work. Watch. Just watch. They want to nullify your ballots, poison our democracy, and overthrow the entire system of government. That's not happening, I can tell you that.
It is wrong, it is corrupt, it is lawless.
And 1,000 miles from Des Moines,
question from Senator Baldwin.
Inside the U.S. Senate chamber, another day of questions and answers as senators from both sides try to make their points by eliciting answers they want to hear.
Should the Senate take into account the partisan nature of the impeachment proceedings in the House?
Absolutely, you should take that into account.
If the Senate acquits the president on Article 2, what is to stop President Trump from complete refusal to cooperate with Congress on any matter?
In short, the consequence is there is no constraint on this president or any other.
There was one question Chief Justice Roberts refused to read.
Mr. Chief Justice.
Senator from Kentucky.
It came from Republican Senator Rand Paul, who wanted, through his question, for the identity of the CIA whistleblower who started it all to be revealed.
Presiding officer declines to read the question as submitted.
Late tonight, Senator Lindsey Graham may have summed up the Republicans' final argument on the question of John Bolton testimony with this question, read by Chief Justice John Roberts.
Assuming for argument's sake that Bolton were to testify in the light most favorable to the allegations contained in the articles of impeachment, isn't it true that the allegations still would not rise to the level of an impeachable offense, and that, therefore, for this and other reasons, his testimony would add nothing to this case?
He just told you is accept everything the House said, except the president withheld the military aid to coerce Ukraine into helping him cheat in the election, accept that these investigations are a sham, accept that he obstructed all subpoenas and witnesses, accept all of that. Too bad there's nothing you can do. I think our founders would be aghast that anyone would make that argument on the floor of the Senate.
Now, there is a very slim chance that we could see a bit of drama in the Senate tomorrow because there is one Republican senator who still has not revealed how she intends to vote on the issue of witnesses, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. If she decides to vote in favor of witnesses, along with Mitt Romney and Susan Collins of Maine, well, that means it would be a 50-50 tie. Now, that leaves open the possibility Chief Justice John Roberts could cast the deciding vote. But it's worth noting most analysts tonight are saying Chief Justice Roberts would most likely decline to vote, which means in a tie, the case will move directly to a vote in a Senate where Republicans hold the majority.
Very interesting, Randy. Thank you.